And I had that philosophy at that time that a person should get married at the age of 25, best age, latest 27. So at the age of 25, I started finding a life partner. I could not find any. My only two criteria was she should be a Dai and she should know English. I wasn't interested in beauty, wasn't interested in wealth, wasn't interested in nobility, only virtue. She should be virtuous, a Dai, and knows English. So in the whole city of Bombay, I could not find anyone. Then one of the family friends told me that there is a girl in Pune, which is a city 160 kilometers from Bombay. So me, my mother and my wife, without telling that girl, without telling her, we just visited the house, without telling her, to try and find out what is she. And we went there, and the mother welcomed, and not knowing why we came there, we started asking about the Dawah activities. At that time, I thought I was doing something wrong. Hidingly going to see a girl, I thought it was wrong. I thought it was a minor sin. But now we realize that a prophet said it's a sunnah to go and look at the girl they're going to marry. And there were Sahabas who saw the girl they're going to marry hidingly. So it's permitted in Islam. That time I thought it was, maybe wrong. It's unethical. And, mashallah, when we came to know about her, I was impressed. Never ever did I see any girl. This is the first girl, because my sister used to first do the interview. We don't want to unnecessarily meet girls to marry. This is the first girl I met, and I was impressed. And she did not know about it. So therefore I joke with my wife that, I started loving you before you started loving me. And I tell her that I'm ahead of you in love. In other things, okay, in taqwa, in Islam, she may be higher than me. But as far as love is concerned, I love you more than what you love me. She says, no, she loves me more than me. So I said, we will do the hisab kitab in akhirah, inshallah. So, mashallah, my wife, she was the president of the Girls Islamic Organization of Pune. And she used to give talks in Urdu. She was fluent in English. She was a lecturer in the college. And I said, yes, this is the girl I want, virtuous, mashallah, taqwa, and we got married. People told, okay, now that you got married, now you'll give less time for dawah. Previously I used to give about 9 hours a day, 10 hours a day. When I got married, I started giving 12 to 13 hours. Venn diagram, she came, we started a ladies organization. First, Islamic Research Foundation didn't have a ladies wing. I got married on the 16th of May, 1993. A very simple marriage in a mosque. At that time, it was well known that people give big receptions, and my father being well off and very well known, I made it a point, and my wife too wanted a very simple nikah. So we only had a nikah in a mosque, and we only gave dates, that also dried dates. It was a very simple marriage because the beloved Prophet said, make nikah simple so that zina would become difficult. And the best marriage is that in which the least expense is made. So we had a very simple nikah. And mashallah, there were more than 2,000 people for my nikah. Not because of me, because of my father. The only thing we spent was, sending invitations. And mashallah, more than 2,000 in a mosque, it was unheard of. For a nikah, unheard. In 1993. And then we had a walima. Very simple. We only called 19 people, direct brothers, sisters of mine, and brothers, sisters, and their spouses from my wife's side. Only 19 people. And we called 50 people from the orphanage. But the Prophet said, in the walima, there should be poor people. So 50 people from the orphanage, 19 relatives of me and my wife. We hardly spend 3,000 rupees on the walima, that's it. 3,000 rupees would be 1,800 ringgit. So to give an example, and when my wife's relatives came, we kept them in my relatives' home. We put beddings on the floor. We could have booked the best of 5-star hotel, we could afford it. But we wanted to make the marriage very simple. So much so that we saved the money, what we can spend on the marriage, and we bought a new office for the organization. And that was the foundation. And it grew, mashallah. So what we could spend millions of ringgit on the wedding, which normally is done, compared to the status that we had, we spend that money in buying an office. I said, I don't want a house for myself, I want office for the Dawah organization. And that was an investment. And this organization, Islamic Research Foundation, it grew, mashallah.